Have you ever had an unfinished task completely hijack your brain? Like, you've done a lot of things today, and you know you've done a lot of things today, but somehow the thing that your brain keeps remembering is that one task that you didn't do. Well, we can thank psychology for this, and today we're going to talk about exactly why. If we haven't met yet, my name is Isabel, and on this channel we talk all about embracing your weird in order to build a better brand, business, and life. So let's go. A while ago, I had to write an email. And while I had to write that email, I recorded a YouTube video and I planned my week and I organized my house and I did a bunch of stuff except write the email. And do you want to know what my brain kept reminding me of? That I had not written that email. Instead of recognizing all of the things that I had done, my brain was telling me, hey, we still have to write that email. And we can thank an effect in psychology called the Zeigarnik effect for this fact. The Zeigarnik effect basically explains that once tasks are finished, they fade into our memory. Now, this was discovered out of curiosity, basically, of Zeigarnik. He was looking at waiters in restaurants and he realized that they had the ability to memorize a bunch of different orders from a bunch of different tables perfectly, but as soon as that table had paid and left, they forgot the order entirely. And the thing is that once the task is closed, once that loop is closed, then the memory can let it go. However, there's also the fact that unfinished tasks tend to nag at us until we get them done. That is a different effect called the Osonica effect. I hope I'm saying that right. And this effect basically is your brain, when it has an open loop, it creates tension. And that tension will not be relieved until that loop is closed. So what does this mean? It means that there's a certain piece of productivity advice that we hear a lot, which is just get started. That sometimes is not good enough. It doesn't work. So here's the thing. I'm not against the just get started, the start small, the, open the page, open the document, write one sentence. I actually think that is a great piece of advice. If your problem is initiation, if you're having trouble starting a task, if you're having trouble initiating a project because you're procrastinating on it, because you're avoiding it, then starting small is definitely a good piece of advice. However, we live in the modern age. And when these two effects that I just mentioned were discovered, there were a lot less open loops in our lives. Okay, we didn't have access to the internet and social media. People didn't have phones that allowed everyone in our lives that we've ever had any sort of contact with to contact us at a moment's notice and immediately require a reply. Nowadays, we have a lot more open loops than we used to have, which means that a lot of us are just honestly overwhelmed. And so when you're overwhelmed, and the Osonica effect is yelling, hey, finish this, finish this, finish this. Hey, you still have this to do. Hey, you still have this. Hey, that email. Hey, that thing. The solution is not to open more loops. The solution is not starting small and opening more. The solution is looking for calm. And the way to look for calm is to close loops. So this could be by finishing something fully, looking at your list and seeing something that you've started but you haven't finished yet, but that you know you can finish right now, sitting down and finishing it. This can also look like deciding not to do it. Deciding can sometimes work as good as doing if you're really clear with your brain on it. So what do I mean by that? This could be deciding not to do the thing. Simply, you know what? I don't need to do this. Let me cross it off my list. It can also be deciding that you're not going to do it right now. Okay, so let's say that I want to learn German. I don't know. And right now, I don't have the time to learn German, but my brain is like, hey, you said you were going to learn German. Hey, you said you want to learn German. Hey, how's the German going? Hey, right? I can look at that on my list and say, hey, brain, you know what? I'm not going to learn German until July of this year, at least. So let's check back on this in July. And by making that decision, the clarity of that decision brings the calm with it. It also closes the loop. So clarity is super important. The other thing is, at the end of your day, look at your list and recognize the things that you finished. And with the open loops that you have left, tell your brain, hey, all of these things, we're pausing here. We are going to keep going with them tomorrow so that you don't spend all night thinking about them, right? All of these things also help build self-trust. I have a whole video on self-trust that I'll link in the description below. But the other thing is to make your loops smaller. A lot of times we have these big, vague, open loops that are huge and never ending. That is why they never close. Do laundry, for example. Do laundry is a never-ending task. You're always going to have more laundry to do. There's always going to be dirty clothes. There's always going to be clean clothes to fold or to store or to put away or to wash or to separate or blah, right? It's a never-ending task. But wash towels, dry towels, fold towels, put away towels. Those are 4 very small, very specific loops that you can cross off, that you can close. And then the sheets and the darks and the whites and the whatever else you have to do still can wait till tomorrow. But you've closed certain loops. All of these things build self-trust. And I have a whole video on self-trust that I'll link in the description below. But closing these loops tells your brain, hey, when I open a loop, I'm going to close it. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And it helps us regulate our nervous system. It helps us reduce cognitive overload, and it helps us just calm down enough to where we can then look at the loops that we want to open and open them with clarity and peace and be motivated to actually do other things instead of feeling overwhelmed all the time and like you're not catching up. So just summarizing, the Zeigarnik effect is all about open loops and how, as long as loops are open, your brain will remind you of them. But when you close it, your brain will immediately forget. The Avsanika effect is the one that says that when you open a loop, and you start doing a task, your brain is going to nag you about it until you finish it, because you've created some tension in your brain by opening that task. And that tension won't be relieved until that task is done. Both of these together explain why we always forget about the things that we've done, but we always are thinking about the things that we still have to do. And I've given you 4 different ways to help close more loops to reduce overwhelm and start building that self-trust in you again. Now, if this resonated, I'd love to hear in the comments, what open loop do you have right now that you are willing to close in order to bring a little bit more calm into your brain and your head? And if you like content like this, please consider liking and subscribing. This is a smaller channel. It really helps me grow. And yeah, I make new videos like this every single Friday. So until then, stay wild, stay weird, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.